Developers are pulling back, investors are stepping aside, even people who wanted to buy a new home are saying might not the right time. So let's break it down. Why is this happening? And because of what's happening today, how it will impact the availability of the housing and the pricing in coming 5 to 10 years. Hello everyone, my name is Parth Soni. I'm a realtor based in Ontario. I help families like you to move into a new place. Now, let's start with the biggest and the most obvious reason, that is the price gap. Right now, there is a huge disconnect between the resale home prices and the new construction prices. People can buy a resale home for hundreds of thousands of dollars less than what builders are asking for a new home. And if the price difference isn't justified, most buyers are simply saying, why buy something that will be ready in 2 to 3 years at a higher price when I can get something right now at a discount? And because of that, pre-construction sales have slowed dramatically. And remember, developers only build once they have sold enough units upfront. And no sales means no construction. Just to give you an idea, there were only 54 homes were sold last month as a brand new unit in Toronto. Now, the second part of the story is the cost crisis for builder. Now, even if they want to build, developers are struggling right now. Construction material cost has increased significantly. If you see steel and aluminum, it goes really high. Now, check out this video if you are someone who wants to get much more detailed idea about the construction cost and how it's affecting the market. The other thing is the labor shortage, which is driving up the prices, which was very prominent back in 2022 and 2023. We still faces it right now, but not that prominent. Third factor, of course, the land cost. It is always going to continue to rise. The third factor in this is the land cost, which is really high as of right now. The fourth and the last and this one is the municipal fees and the development charges, which could add hundreds of thousands of dollars per unit in some cases. If you are someone who's concerned about what are the development charges and development fees and how this is a secret thing that government put in, check out this video. It will give you a good idea what is the development charges and how you are paying so much more. And to give an idea, roughly 33% of the house price is goes towards like this kind of government fees or taxes and things like that. And then when you stack all of this on a high interest rate, construction financing has become extremely expensive. In a lot of cases, builders simply can't make the numbers work. And if a project doesn't make financial sense, it does not start. It's as simple as that. Now let's discuss a little bit of the rate dipping over here. Now Ontario still battles with lengthy municipal approval timelines, zoning issue, and permitting delays. Even if the builder is willing to take the risk, waiting for 1 or 2 years before ground even breaks, it's a really expensive thing. And this also exposes them to the market changes in terms of interest rate, political shift, construction inflation, and so much. And that uncertainty, it's enough to put a pause. Now, also, let's check about the demand on the buying side, which is really down right now, whether it's an investor or a buyer. And this is something I'm not talking about the reduced ability to buy in terms of mortgage, it is also reduced confidence. Now, if you see for an investor perspective, rent growth has slowed in some areas, and it's not very lucrative for investor right now to put their money into a housing market. The other thing is the cash flow. If you're buying a new build, cash flow does not work. You have to come up with at least 50 to 60% of down payment in order to make it work. So all this investors are waiting. It could be like sometime a pent up demand, this happen, and after a couple of years it all comes in, but no one knows. And in terms of end user, they are also hesitating right now because what always think as it goes up and up in terms of a real estate as appreciation, that is not happening. It's missing from the market for past couple of years. So even people who were willing to take $1 million mortgages thinking like it will go up, that is not happening right now. So builders are saying like if people aren't buying, we are not building. It's very simple. Now, this is very important. Part fifth of this is the buyer psychology, which not many people talk. Now, let's talk about something that we don't often discuss, and that is buyer psychology. 2 or 3 years ago, people believed real estate only goes up. I remember client confidently taking $1 million plus mortgages on their pre-construction project, thinking it doesn't matter. In couple of years, what I pay, it will appreciate. In 3 years, it will be worth more. Those are the things that I was saying. Now, fast forward to today, we have seen the market drop by 20 to 30% in some areas, especially in the pre-construction investor market. And many homeowners are underwater right now, owing more on their mortgages than what their homes are worth. So let's see what's happening now. So buyers are saying like, I'm not sure if prices will go up. They're asking questions like, what if the rate drops again? And can I really take the risk of this huge mortgage? Those are the questions that buyers are asking right now, which was not buyers were asking before. So that is totally a shift in the mindset, which is very massive. And confidence drives reconstruction, to be honest. And today's confidence is honestly at a very lowest point in years. Until that belief returns, the real estate is a stable long-term bet. You won't see massive buying of new build. And without that demand, there is no incentive to start new projects. So here we are. Ontario housing demand is still high, but new home construction is slowing down dramatically. And as we discussed, number of factors is like new build are priced too far from the resale. Construction and financing costs are very high as of right now. On top of that, if you add municipal delays and all the costs associated with it, it's very high. And the buyers and investor demand is also weak. And the fifth thing we just discussed is the buyer psychology, which is real and the shift is happening. And honestly, the last one might be the biggest shift what we have seen in past decades. The concern is like if we don't build now, we will feel the supply shortage even worse in 2 to 4 years. Now prices could rise again simply because there won't be enough homes. And I'm talking about major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, those kind of places, not a smaller poor third tier cities. And if you're someone who's planning to buy, whether it's a resale or new, or trying to understand if a pre-construction market still makes sense for you, because it does in some market, I would still love to help you and walk you through the process. And if you find this breakdown helpful, hit like and subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear this. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.